Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today let's find out what actually Bitcoin does under the hood. You have probably heard about this digital currency called Bitcoin. With so much hype around this has made me to learn something about this currency. In this video I'm going to share with you what I learned about Bitcoin. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that like button. By definition, Bitcoin is purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash that would allow online payment to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. So, if you want to send your friend, let's say Rahul, 500 rupees through internet, you are likely to use internet banking and that would be verified by your bank. This may cost few amounts of transaction fees. Here the bank is the financial institution that would have the authority to verify the money you send or receive. But when you send a certain amount of Bitcoin to your friend, your transaction is not verified by any central authority like bank, but by a network of anonymous people who uses their computational power to verify your transactions. These anonymous people are working to validate your transactions are called miners. Bitcoin doesn't have any physical existence. It exists as a list of financial records, just like a ledger. When you send a certain amount of Bitcoin to your friends, or your friends send you a certain amount of Bitcoin, every transaction is recorded in that list. To send or receive Bitcoin, you must have a public key and a private key. Your public key can be shared to anyone in order to receive transactions, but your private key must be kept secret. If anyone has the access to the private key, they will also have the access to any cryptocurrency associated with those keys. Your private key is used to create a digital signature and your public key is used to verify the signature. Every transaction must have the digital signature because the goal of a digital signature is to prove that you are the owner of a public key. Bitcoin uses SHA-256 algorithm to generate a 256-bit of random sequence of letters and numbers called hash as output of any given input. It is one of the most secure way to protect digital information. It is a one-way function. That means it is not possible to get the actual input from a hash. A little change in input can produce entirely different hash. Here's an example of SHA-256 hash. Here I have written the name of my channel as input data and here I got this hash. And if I want to add a full stop at the end, I can see here the hash completely changed, and if I again remove this full stop, I can get back to the previous hash. And now it is impossible for me to know the original data from this given hash because SHA-256 is very strong encryption method. The Bitcoin network is made up of everyone running the Bitcoin software. Every computer that is running on this network are called nodes. New transactions are broadcast to all the nodes. Each node collects a new transaction into a block. A block records some or all of the most recent transactions that have not yet entered any prior block. Thus, a block is like a page of ledger or record book. Each time a block is completed, it gives way to the next block in the blockchain. Each transactions are hashed and the hashes are then paired, hashed, paired again and hashed again until a single hash remains, which is the Merkle root of a Merkle tree. The Merkle root is stored in the block header. This is the key part of Bitcoin security. It ensures that transactions cannot be changed once they are part of a block. The block header contains a handful of fields that describe the block. The first field in the block is protocol version. It is followed by the hash of the previous block in the blockchain, which ensures all the blocks form an unbroken sequence in blockchain. The next field is the Merkle root. The next is timestamp of the block, followed by the mining difficulty value, bits. Finally, nonce, an arbitrary value that is incremented on each hash attempts to provide a new hash value. Here is a very simple example of a block which contains the block number, a nonce, the data and the hash which is generated based on these nonce. And this hash must start with few bits of 0 in front of it. And this is based on the difficulty level of the mining. And if I want to change this data, let's say Rahul paid me 500 rupees. And now I can see the hash completely changed and the block is invalidated. To validate this block, I need to find a nonce that will generate a hash which will have 4 bits of 0 in front of it. Now when I try to mine this block, and here I got the 4 bits of zeros in front of this hash. That's a very simple example of a block and how the block is mined by the miners. Here's an example of a blockchain. It shows how the blocks are connected to each other, and every block must have the hash of the previous block. And here you can see this hash starts with 4 zeros 12F, and here you can see the hash of this previous block is also present here. And also you can see here the hash of this block is 4 zeros B9 and something, and here you can see the hash of the previous block is also present here. That is how the blocks are connected to each other. Miners across the Bitcoin network are constantly working to verify transactions and connect a new block to the blockchain. All miners need to follow a certain protocol to put a block into the blockchain, and this protocol is called proof of work. It is necessary for security, which prevents fraud, which enables trust. This security ensures miners can't lie about a transaction. When a new block is created, miners are using their computational power to find a special hash value by incrementing a nonce in the block until a value is found that gives the block's hash the required 0 bits. Once the CPU effort have been expanded to make it satisfy the proof of work, and the block is added to the blockchain, and it cannot be changed without redoing the work. As later blocks are chained after it, the work to change the block would include redoing all the blocks after it. In the Bitcoin network, every node has the copy of the entire blockchain. Here peer A has the copy of the entire blockchain, so does the peer B and peer C. Now, if anyone wants to tamper a block in the blockchain, let's say if I want to change this transaction value from $5 to $10, I can see the hash of this block has changed, which invalidates this block and also the other blocks starting from this block. To validate this block, I have to mine this block again and also the other blocks. This required insane amount of computational power in reality for a single node to tamper the entire blockchain. The first miner who is able to find the special hash value is rewarded with a certain amount of Bitcoin, and this is how new Bitcoins are created and added to circulation. After every 210,000 Bitcoins mined, almost after 4 years, the reward value is halved. In 2009, the reward value for each block in the chain mined was 50 Bitcoins. After first halving, it was 25, then 12.5, and it became 6.25 Bitcoins per block as of May 11, 2020. The maximum and total amount of Bitcoin that can ever exist is 21 million. Currently, circulation of Bitcoin is 18.5 million Bitcoin. You can buy Bitcoins through cryptocurrency exchanges. I will put a link in the description to find out cryptocurrency exchanges in your area. I hope you got a general idea on how Bitcoin actually works. This is very simple explanation on the fundamentals of Bitcoins and blockchain technology. For more videos on various technology related topics, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and comment below what you think of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in general.